Well, I guess you're here because you saw the green glitch and you want to know what I was trying to show. I'll run that clip now and then I'll just say a few words at the end. What happens is when the relay clicks over and the start capacitor drops out and we run on just the run capacitor, this wave drops to this level. It looks more like this, and that tells us that our run capacitor is the right size. You'd be surprised when you see it just how close this is. Now, I don't know if the relay is going to behave itself. If it welds together, it's going to spoil the party a little bit. We'll give it a go. So at this point I've put the two probes on, but I haven't started the machine obviously, and the voltage on L1 and L3 is identical. So if I change position of one of these traces, look, there you are. I think this bottom one, the one that's moving down, is L3. But when I start the machine, what will happen is this one, the one that's lower now, is going to jump to the left. It will start smaller than this and it'll grow to be quite a bit bigger. So we'll just press the button now and hopefully you'll see it. And let's just hope the relay doesn't weld. Well, the relay hasn't pulled over for some reason. Oh, that's because I've changed the knob. So you can see, look at the size of this. I'll just adjust the resistor because I've switched it round. So we'll try that again. And you can see how this one grows, triggers a relay, and then drops back and stabilizes when the start capacitor drops out. And you can see the phase difference between there and there, the peak of this, peak middle of this, and the peak of this. Now, so far we've not seen any kind of initial pulse which is causing those relay contacts to pull apart the moment I press the contactor button. What I'd like to see is the voltage across L1 and L3. So these here are referenced to earth. It's giving us an idea, but it's not telling us the full story. Now, to put my scope probe across both L1 and L3, I would need an isolating transformer or a differential probe. And I looked online, cheapest I could find was £60, and then it goes anything up to £1,000. Well, I'm not paying that. I could use a shaver socket perhaps if I had a shaver socket transformer. That's 1-to-1 at 50 Hertz, 60 Hertz if you like. I don't have one, so I'm going to do the old trick of just taking the earth pin out of the lead that powers the oscilloscope, and then we'll let the whole oscilloscope case float up to 240 volts. But it does mean that anything like this or these metal bits here are going to be live. Somebody asked the question, is it safe? Well, of course it's not safe, but I've put the scope onto some plastic boards, I'll wear some gloves and I'll just be careful. Well, the thing is, I do all my editing and I review the video end to end in the editor, and then I just press export, and then you just trust that what's exported is a fair representation of what you've edited. And I should say for the last 230 videos it has been. And that one was quite long, 45 minutes, and it's quite a big investment. When you're doing a video every week, you're spending a couple of hours editing, then you've got to watch 45 minutes to review it, and then if you export it, you've got to watch 45 minutes again. And even for me, it gets a bit boring. So you trust, that what you've got on the editor actually turns out on the screen, when you upload it. And it didn't. And I usually sample them, and I just didn't spot that. So we had that kind of, and the murderer was, and it goes green. YouTube doesn't let you edit videos really, or only in very limited ways, once you've exported it and uploaded it, and it's live. So the only way that I could correct that video would be to delete it and re-upload it, and then I lose all my views and all my comments. And it's not just my vanity. The fact is, people who have made comments are saying, well, I made a comment, or, it's not showing. Somebody's deleted it. The YouTube robots have done for me. So, you can't just delete a video once it's up there. What you can do is some very basic editing within YouTube. For example, without deleting the video, just editing it on YouTube, you can blur faces. You could take a section out. You could, so say for example you've uploaded a video and you get a copyright strike. You can fix it just by taking that little section out, and then it doesn't offend the YouTube robots. So, you know, that's kind of how it is. I can understand why, because they do lots of checks. When you upload a video, they do loads of checks, mainly copyright, I think. And if you uploaded it, did all the checks, and then somehow you went round the back and replaced it, you could avoid the checks, or you could get round those checks. I think that's probably the reason. Anyway, have a nice day.